What's going on, you guys? My name is Lamangelo and welcome back to my channel. Let's get right into this mess. When you think of the word date, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Well, if you're a history buff, you may think of the day, month, and year of an event in history. But if you're a science geek, you may be thinking of carbon dating, which is basically trying to find out how old fossils are.
Jesus, Tony, how old is this guy?
I don't know, I didn't carbon date him, he's on the young side.
If you think in either of these two ways when you hear the word date, then you may need to get out a little more often. But if you're a teen or a young adult, you're most likely thinking about the romantic type of dating. You know, with the roses and the candlelit dinners and the I'll pick you up at 8 type shit, right? Wrong. Dating is terrifying, especially on your first date. You gotta be on your best behavior the entire time and try not to make a fool out of yourself, but if you're like me, you know that it's pretty hard to do that. And then you gotta find things to talk about, like mutual interests and everything, and if you've seen my last video, you know that I'm terrible at talking. The only person I don't have an issue talking with is SPHYNX. When we first met, she kinda just was there when I came into work one day. She was talking to my work friends as if they have known each other for years. And I was low-key kind of mad because, like, damn, we have another server, but we're still short-staffed in the kitchen. But that's none of my business. Anyway, she was there and I was low-key kind of mad because, like, she's hanging out with my friends and I'm just like, who the fuck? And then she just straight up avatar vanishes out of nowhere. And admittedly, I found myself thinking about her a lot after that. And as embarrassing as it is to admit, I did look her up on the schedule to find out her name so I could find her on Facebook and just kind of go through her page and stuff. But yeah. Super cringe, I know, but she said it was fine because she did the same thing. She ended up coming back after a while, and I ended up thinking to myself, maybe this time I'll actually go and try and have a conversation with her, which really made me kind of nervous. Eventually, I actually built up enough courage to go and talk to her, and I didn't feel super nervous around her anymore. Until this one moment. I walk into work one day and I see her standing there talking to one of our other coworkers, looking all cute and shit. But I still got work to do, so I go to walk past her and I don't know what the hell happened next, but my hand kind of just reaches out and touches hers. And she pauses for a moment like she notices, and then I'm just standing there just frozen with fear and absolutely terrified. And in my head, I'm just like, oh my god, what have I done? But what really surprised me is that she actually gave my hand a squeeze and then went back to her conversation like she didn't mind that it happened. Maybe I read way too much into this, but then I thought, nah, she's definitely gonna be mine. One day while we were working together, the servers were helping the cooks out with the daily prep. Like I said, we were understaffed. Part of this prep included some fried pickles. Later that day, SPHYNX had popped up into the kitchen to ask for some help with the prep. I agreed to help her out and got her set up next to my station with some prep bags, a scale, and the box of fried pickles. We started talking a lot that day as we were doing our work side by side in close proximity to each other. To give you a scale of how into this conversation we were, SPHYNX prepped the entire case of pickles, which is about 12 bags. On the prep list, it only said to do 2 bags. That's how into this conversation we were. We were so drawn into talking to each other. Once her shift ended and before she left, she came back into the kitchen to give me her number. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. But I knew I couldn't text her right away because it was socially unacceptable to do so for whatever reason. But eventually the feelings were a little too strong and I gave in and we started texting back and forth for a little while. And then texting became FaceTiming where I would watch her play Overwatch with her friends. Eventually I worked up the courage to ask her on a date. The plan was to go see a movie and then maybe go to dinner afterwards. What really happened was the movie where I wowed her with my ability to sing Disney songs, dinner at our new favorite date night spot, Genghis Grill, and then we spent the rest of our day driving around the city listening to music and just talking to each other about anything and everything and absolutely nothing. We learned a lot about each other that day, and we were so similar that it was terrifying. The date was going really well, but to wrap up the night, we decided to go bowling. Which, if I'm being honest, I'm pretty sure she cheated, because she kicked my ass that night. Psh, whatever, I let her win. Before we knew it, it was already midnight, and it was about time to call it quits for the day. It was a pretty amazing day all the way through. It lasted for about 10 hours, which is a lot longer than either of us had planned. But here we are, a year later, still going strong. thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can stay up to date on all the new videos I've got coming out. And I will see you in the next video.